everyone. My name is Marin and welcome to another reading vlog. I'm going to bring you along this weekend as I work on some of my August TBR and just let you know my thoughts on the books as I finish them. So my hope is that I will be able to finish 2 books in this vlog. I am starting this on Thursday, August 5th, and I haven't really been up to a whole lot today. So I got up kind of late. I had an eye doctor appointment and now I'm home and we're gonna do a little bit of reading. So the book that I'm going to start with is actually the Literally Dead book club pick for the month of August. And that book is For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. I don't really know anything about this aside from the synopsis, which I did go over in my August TBR video, which I'll link up in the cards for you. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be working on first. And then if you watched my last reading vlog, I mentioned how I have been keeping track of what I'm supposed to read and when I need to read it by just writing it down in this kind of daily planner. So I have this one going all the way through Sunday, August 8th. And then the other book that I'm hoping to read is actually a pretty short book. It is only 3 days that I have it scheduled out, and honestly, I could probably finish it before then. It is a YA book, and that is this book right here, which is Tyler Johnson Was Here. It's written by J. Coles. This one only has 200, let's see where it actually ends, 296 pages. So depending on how quick it reads, I could probably get this done in 2 days, honestly. So those are the 2 books I'm going to be working on in this vlog. So again, book 1 and book 2. And yeah, I will obviously bring you along as I read them. I am also working on an audiobook. So I am currently on chapter 24, I think. Chapter 24 of The Elite by Kiera Cass. It is the 2nd book in the selection series. So I will also be working on finishing that one up because I have a goal of finishing that by the end of this week. So by the end of Saturday. Because the next audiobook that I'm going to start is the audiobook of Fire. So I do have the book of this one also, because with Graceling, I listened to the majority of Graceling on audio, but I also kind of would have to end it in odd places. And I have this thing where I need to be able to finish out chapters and call that like a conclusive stop point. So I picked up the book just in case that happens with this one as well. Also, I like to track the page numbers on Goodreads for my audiobooks. So this will be the audiobook that I'm listening to for the latter half of this vlog. So those are the 3 things that I'm going to be working on in this vlog, and I hope you enjoy it as I bring you along with me. Hello everyone, happy Friday. So I wanted to go ahead and do a quick reading recap of what I read last night. So I did read about 118 pages of For Your Own Good. This book is split into parts, so I finished all of part 1 and I definitely have some thoughts. This is kind of a hard book to decide if you like it or not, and that's mostly because the characters in this book leave a lot to be desired. So you are flipping between points of view in this story. So this book is set at a school. So you have 3 teachers whose point of views you are reading from, and then you have a student whose point of view you are reading from. And the only character that I actually like is the student. One of the teachers is very full of himself. He thinks he's amazing. He is following the stereotype of like teachers who refuse to evolve with the times. So he, for instance, still uses a chalkboard and an overhead projector instead of moving on to using a smartboard. And he thinks that that makes him a better teacher. And it's just kind of the teacher who's stuck in their ways and refuses to evolve and continue to grow and learn. It's that kind of character trope, I guess. So not really a fan of that. There's another teacher who thinks very highly of herself and like sticks her nose in everywhere, which is another teacher trope. So I am kind of laughing a little bit at the fact that that's happening. And another one is a math teacher who is very religious and very obsessed with like working out and going to the gym. So those are your 3 teachers. Then you have a student. He is a junior. His name is Zach. The teacher who refuses to change his ways can't stand Zach. He has all of these like preconceived notions about Zach, none of which are actually true. So there is some tension between them. And Zach really can't figure out why this teacher does not like him. He is trying to like figure out how to get on this teacher's good side. And so he's kind of the most relatable, I would say, in terms of the characters. So yeah, anyway, a woman has just been killed at a school function, and we have these two of the teachers think that it might be their fault. But then something happens and it's the person who's arrested is not either of those teachers. So I think we've definitely got like a murder mystery type thing. So I'm curious to see where the book's gonna go. I'm enjoying it in terms of the fact that I'm wanting to continue reading it to see what's gonna happen next. But like I said, the point of views are not doing it for me, except for poor Zach, who, I say poor Zach, maybe that's going to turn out to not be the case too. But anyway, yeah, so that's where I am with that. I'm about a quarter of the way through. I think Goodreads said I was at like 30%, maybe a little bit less than that. I can't quite remember. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and read another 100 pages or so of that today. I also finished listening to the audiobook of The Elite, and y'all, I really liked the selection. I know that that is kind of a, that's another book that has very wide-ranging reviews. People hate it, people love it. I really enjoyed the first one. The second one, though, I wanted to reach through the book and strangle America. She was just so obnoxious, full of herself, convinced that she knew exactly what was going on. And yeah, she did a lot of things that I really did not like at all. I hate the love triangle aspect, even though now we're finally like coming to the end of that, thank goodness. But yeah, anyway, this book was super obnoxious. I was irritated with her a vast majority of the time. I liked the last 3 chapters, I guess, the most. And I am going to read the next book because I do want to know how it's all going to work out. But yeah, second book, not nearly as good as the first one. So if you didn't like the first one, I would not recommend reading the second one because it was worse than the first one by far. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to put it at about 2 stars, 2.5 stars, because honestly, it was just so annoying the vast majority of the time. So anyway, finished that. That's one book off of my TBR list. And yeah, gonna continue to work on For Your Own Good. Tomorrow I'm going to start the audio of Fire. And yeah, we'll just see what else I get up to today. I do have some laminating that I need to cut out for school stuff, because next time I go up, I want to bring all of that with me and get that put up where I want it to go. So I need to finish cutting that out. And otherwise, I don't really have much on tap for today, so we will just see what happens. It is Saturday. It's actually almost 7 o'clock in the evening. I have been out for most of the afternoon. I attended a friend's birthday party, and then another friend and I went and wandered around a local library book sale. So I thought I might go ahead and do like a little book haul just to show you what I picked up. I mostly picked up books for my classroom, but I did pick up some romance books, so I'll go ahead and show you which ones those are. So some of these I'm thinking might be part of an upcoming vlog at some point. I've been kind of playing around with this idea for a while, so might go ahead and make that happen. But one that I picked up for nostalgia purposes, if you will, is this one right here. It's called Heart of Midnight. It is one of these silhouette intimate moments books. I devoured these in middle school. And this one is not one that I remember reading. It's by Fiona Brand, and I figured this might be fun to kind of go through and reread as part of a vlog, kind of looking back on some of the first romance books that I read. So that's kind of the idea I'm thinking of. Another one that I got for that same vlog idea is this one right here. This is Thicker Than Water by Maggie Shane. She wrote a series of books that I really liked. They were more of the silhouette intimate moments ones, so I thought I might give like a standalone book by her a go and see what I think about that. And then two others for that same vlog idea that I'm kind of bouncing around is a Nora Roberts book. This one is Summer Pleasures. I believe this is a standalone, so we'll cross our fingers and hope that that is the case, but I picked that one up. And I picked up The Air by Catherine Coulter. So these two authors were the first standalone romance authors that I read. Like, these two were my go-tos in high school. So I still read Nora Roberts quite frequently. I've read a couple of things by Catherine Coulter in the past few years, but yeah, just thought that would kind of be fun. So I'm thinking these four might be for a vlog, so we'll see. I also picked up another historical romance. This one is Princess of Fire by Shannon Drake. I don't know anything about this one. I just thought it sounded interesting, so picked that one up. And then I also found Wanderlove by Kristen Hubbard. I've wanted to read this one for years. I believe it's probably been on my TBR list since the book was released. Let me see when that was, what its copyright is. 2012. So yeah, it's probably been on my TBR since 2012. So it was only 50 cents at the book sale. So I figured, why not pick it up and give it a go? So that's all I picked up for myself. And then, like I said, I picked up several children's books as well for my classroom. But yeah, it's kind of fun to wander around and look at the different books, even if I didn't buy a ton of them. So that's my nice little book haul. Now let's talk a little bit about the other books. So as you know, I am still working on For Your Own Good. I am nearly done with this one. So you can see I do not have very much left. I am on page, I believe, 299. Yes, 299, which is chapter 70. This book is crazy. So I'm very curious to see where it's going, how it's going to end. It's one that I can't really talk a whole ton about without giving away spoilers. So what I will say is that when I mentioned this yesterday, I was talking about how I didn't really like any of the points of view except for Zach's. So I still really am enjoying Zach's point of view. The point of views have changed though. So Zach is still one of the point of views. One of the teachers is still one of the point of views, but now we have some other points of view and I'm liking it a little bit more now. So Teddy is the teacher who is very stuck in his ways, doesn't want to change with the times. And he gets up to some things, y'all, some things. So yeah, very curious to see what is going to happen. I don't have much of the book left. I'm planning on finishing it today, and I will give you more thoughts when I do that. But like I said, I don't want to spoil this one because it is a mystery thriller. So yeah, I will say that I am really enjoying it. It is compulsively readable, and I'm excited to see how it ends. So that's this one. I also started the audiobook of Fire this morning. I only listened to the first chapter and the prologue. So we've just been introduced to Fire, who obviously is the main character in this book. The prologue gave us a look at King Lex's childhood, which I found quite interesting because in Graceling, it talks a lot about how they're not really sure where exactly he came from. So the beginning of this book kind of tells that story, and I'm just curious to see what else is going to happen. Obviously, I'm not far enough in to have much of a thought. I'm only on page 35. So this one's going to take a while. It is a very thick book. So yeah, we'll just see if I wind up liking it as much or more than I liked Graceling. Okay, other than that, I think that's pretty much all I have to update you on. Gonna again do a little bit more reading, try to finish For Your Own Good, and yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for this Saturday. Sunday, everyone. It's time for another reading recap. So last night I did finish For Your Own Good. I gave this one 4 stars. It's crazy. Like, I'm not really sure that there's another word for it. So I can't really talk too much about it because I don't want to give away spoilers. But what I will say is that kind of from about the first 100 pages on, you know who's responsible for what's happening in the story. And so it's more just watching to see if they're going to get their comeuppance, if you will. And even though you know what's going on, there were still so many times where I was like, wait, what? Or, huh? You know, so there are lots of twists and turns, even though, like I said, you know who's responsible. So that was kind of an interesting narrative choice. It worked really well. I pretty much just devoured like the last half of it. It's very easy to read. It really grips you, gets you invested in the story. You want to know what's going to happen. So really, really enjoyed this one. 4 stars, and I can cross yet another book off of my August TBR. So today I am going to start reading Tyler Johnson Was Here. This one again does not have that many pages, so I'm thinking I can probably get it finished in 2 days. I'm thinking I'll just do 50% today, 50% tomorrow probably, and then close out the vlog. So this will be the last book that I'm going to read for this reading vlog. I also did listen to 50 more pages, I think, of Fire. Still not exactly sure what I think about that one. Fire is a human monster. She has the ability to control people's minds and make them do what she wants. And as such, she obviously is very feared and people don't really like her. So we have just been introduced to the prince of her land, and the prince and his brother is king. Fire's father used to be an advisor of sorts to the prince and the king's father, so the original king, and he really led the king down a really bad path, and the country is kind of a disaster as a result. So that's pretty much all we've established thus far, so I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Like I said, I did 50 more pages today, so I think I'm on like page 85. I will probably listen to a bit more of it today. I have to finally cut out that laminating that I haven't cut out yet, so yeah, we'll just kind of see. And otherwise, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to get ready to film a couple of videos for the next couple of weeks to kind of pre-film, especially since I start back to work on Thursday. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to get up to for the rest of the day, and I will of course take you along with me. This is going to be the last day of this vlog. I wanted to go ahead and do a quick recap. So yesterday around 4:30, a storm rolled through. Our power was out for like 6 hours. They finally got it back up around 10, but I was able to get some reading done. I just read via flashlight, and I did read about half of Tyler Johnson Was Here. So this book is told from the point of view of Marvin Johnson. Marvin is Tyler's twin brother. They live in an inner city area, I believe, and I think it's in Alabama. Tyler and Marvin's father is in prison for a crime that he did not commit because he used to run with some gang members. The gang members were the ones that committed the crime, but their father was put in prison as well, and he is in prison in Alabama. So that's why I'm thinking that this book takes place in Alabama, although that really doesn't matter, because unfortunately what happens in this book can happen anywhere in the US. So basically, Tyler gets hooked up with a not great group of guys. They attend this party. Marvin goes along with him to keep an eye on his brother. So there are some shots fired at this party. Everyone flees, and in the aftermath, Marvin cannot find Tyler. So currently where I am in the book, Tyler is missing. Marvin is trying to figure out where his brother is, and nobody that he's talked to can give him any information about where Tyler is. So already in this book, we have seen just blatant racism towards Marvin and other Black boys in particular. There have already been 2 incidents with police where the Black boy was treated very unfairly just because of the color of his skin. And Marvin is someone who was raised to think that if he just followed what the police said that he would be fine, but he is, I believe he's 17, and so now he's kind of realizing that's not necessarily always going to be enough. So that's kind of everything that's gone down. Marvin has 2 really good friends, Ivy and Gmo, and they are kind of the ones right now that are trying to locate Tyler, figure out where Tyler is. Marvin has also just met a girl named Faith. Faith is the ex-girlfriend of one of the guys that Tyler has gotten mixed up with, and Faith is also trying to help Marvin find his brother. So yeah, there's already been quite a lot that's happened, and I've only read 152 pages. So I am halfway. So the goal today is to finish the rest of this book, and then I will obviously give you my thoughts once that's done. So that's what's on the agenda here. I'm going to finish this. I am also going to finally cut out the laminating that I need to cut out because I'm going back up to my classroom tomorrow. And yeah, that's pretty much it for what's on the schedule. Right now I'm gonna go have some lunch, and then I will get to reading. So let's go ahead and just roll on into that. So I have now finished. Tyler Johnson was here, so thought I'd go ahead and kind of give my full thoughts. So first of all, this is a very good look at what it's like to be Black in the United States, honestly. So as I had mentioned earlier, this is told from the point of view of Marvin. Marvin's brother Tyler is missing, which is what I talked about in my earlier recap. But what has actually happened to Tyler is that he has been shot by a white police officer as he was leaving the party that I'd mentioned earlier. So his murder is caught on cell phone camera, and as such, they are able to kind of proceed towards the possibility of bringing the officer to trial. So we never hear exactly how that goes down, but it is moved to a grand jury, and then of course they decide whether they are going to indict. So that part doesn't really happen here because ultimately the point of this book, I think, is more looking at Marvin's grief process as he tries to figure out how to move on from losing his twin. There's also a very good look at things like protest, the Black Lives Matter movement, why that movement is necessary. And I think that overall this is a very realistic look at all of that. My one complaint is that, as I mentioned, this book is quite short. So I feel like some things were rushed a little bit. I would have liked to see a little bit more fleshing out of certain things here and there. So that's the only complaint I have, but all in all, this is a really great book. So it is marketed, as you can see, my library has marketed it for high school. And if you are a high school teacher, high school, honestly, I would say high school, but possibly middle school. It just depends. You have to kind of know your students, but definitely a book that I would recommend putting in your classroom library if this is the age level you work with. So there was one passage in here which I've been marking, which I kind of wanted to read. So this is on page 228, if you can see right there. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just read you this very short little paragraph. So it said, "It's about the hate some people have within them. Hate is too ugly of a devil for some people to acknowledge, but the thing about hate is you can't throw it on someone else without getting a little bit on yourself. And I wonder if people will ever understand that." So lots of really good introspective lines in this one. Really enjoyed this, and in the end I gave this one 4 stars because, as I mentioned, some things were a little bit rushed. I would have liked to see them a bit more fleshed out, but definitely liked this one and would recommend. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and close this vlog. I have some laundry I have to hang up because it just got done in the washer, and tomorrow I'm heading back into my classroom. So the next reading vlog you see from me is going to be my Bout of Books reading vlog. Bout of Books is going to start, let me look at the calendar, I believe August 16th, Monday, August 16th, and it runs through Sunday, August 22nd. So if you are interested in possibly participating in that readathon, which doesn't really get much attention on YouTube, it's more of a Twitter thing these days, I'm gonna link not the video, I just said it's not on YouTube. I'm gonna link the post with all of the details for the readathon down below, so do feel free to check that out if you are looking for a readathon to participate in. And otherwise, thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.